Dr. Shipman's eyes are closed and he didn't look at the photograph at all. Can you remember Lily Crossley at all? Okay, no answer.
A family doctor in England, for years, he seemed like a trusted and respected physician. That he was one of the most prolific serial killers in modern history, and was once seen as a trusted family doctor in England.
Because he was kind, professional, he was always available, he knew families personally, he made house calls, and people thought of him as someone they could rely on completely.
But he was quietly killing many of his patients. Most of them were elderly, and he used a strong drug like morphine to make their deaths look natural. Because of his position as a doctor, no one questioned him for a long time. At first, the deaths seemed ordinary, but over time, people began to notice that too many of Shipman's patients were dying unexpectedly. The truth began to come out after one case in particular. Shipman forged the will of one of his patients. When investigators looked at his patient's records, they found a disturbing pattern. For too many of his patients had died under suspicious circumstances. In 2000, Harold Shipman was convicted of murdering 15 of his patients, but later reviews suggested the real number was much higher, possibly over 200 victims. This made him one of the most notorious serial killers in history. The impact on families and community was devastating.
The three ladies there, it's the elderly lady dressed in black.
Shipman's breath rate is 4 seconds. Very little pause, then breathe out for 4 seconds. This is his baseline.
Families were devastated. Many people lost trust in doctors because someone they trusted turned out to be dangerous.
However, when he's presented with a photograph of Elizabeth Pierce,
That's Elizabeth Pierce. The three ladies there, it's the elderly lady dressed in black.
you can't see the photograph, his eyes are closed.
Dr. Shipman's eyes are closed.
However, he must be experiencing fear. How do we know? Because in fear, like our ancestors, if they were threatened by a large animal, they'd freeze in the grass so they couldn't be seen, then they're not an easy target. That freeze response is a psychophysiological reaction that's subconscious.
That's Elizabeth Pierce.
This is the point he stops breathing.
That's Elizabeth Pierce.
And he knows the picture is there. And watch the next movement. He doesn't breathe for 9 seconds. So Elizabeth Pierce, that name is...
Because his case was shocking and rare, it showed how much power and trust doctors have, and why it's important to make sure that trust isn't abused and the great responsibility doctors have.